right, chat. We're gonna move on to another one that is topical. And is going to be, it's not gonna be pleasant. I'm gonna warn you about this right now. It's not going to be pleasant, but I do think it's, especially right now, I do think it's important. And you guys know that I don't shy away from uncomfortable topical comments if I feel that they're important. So I do think we need to look at this because this is something prescient with what's happened recently. Red has put out a video, and I was kind of waiting for that. I was kind of sort of waiting for something like this. But Red's got a video. Basically from the thumbnail, it looks like something in regards to Hasan. In the aftermath of what happened to Charlie Kirk. And again, this is going to evoke a lot of emotions. And a lot of emotions. It's going to evoke a lot of emotions. And I'm going to ask you guys for temperance. Okay? I am going to ask you guys for temperance on this. I know you're going to want to say a lot of things. I know it. I understand it. Just try and temper yourselves. Okay? And yeah, it's entirely possible, but right now I feel like it's important to hear what he says. I do think it's important to hear what he is saying. Just because, if nothing else, to give us the proper warning signs for what to look out for. So let's jump into this. It's a little bit shorter than it's slightly shorter than the normal Red video. We're gonna jump into this, so you don't have to remain silent, but just all I ask for is temperance. That's all I ask.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So this is a bit of a follow-up to yesterday's video where I went over the horrible situation involving Charlie Kirk, 31-year-old conservative who would go to college campuses and debate people, and at his final debate, he was brutally assassinated in front of a live crowd through an act of political violence. I mean, his family was in attendance. Just a terrible situation all around. But I focused a lot on the reaction to it on social media, where thousands upon thousands of users were celebrating this man's demise and encouraging more political violence. And of course, just like anything else, it trickles down into spaces we talk about on this channel, like the gaming industry. And yesterday we looked at countless game developers who are celebrating his demise, or sharing or liking posts doing the same thing, or making calls for more violence. And some of those people have already been fired, so that's good news for that, at least.
Yeah, this Rev might dig into it a little bit more. There were a lot of people in the business and gaming space. Yes, Hendrix, yes, his whole family was there. Charlie's entire family was there, and it was a horror. I'm not going to feel like, people have told me what occurred in regards to his family when the event happened. I'm not going to repeat it. And guys, if you know it, you don't repeat it either, because it is utterly heartbreaking. It is one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever heard, so please don't repeat it. I already know about it, so you don't need to say anything. But in the aftermath, a lot of people in like the game development industry, and a lot of people in the game development industry, and even like some business industries, are basically getting shit canned. because of what they were saying about Charlie Kirk in the aftermath, and what they were saying in teachers, well, like, oh, there are a lot of people, because they were literally celebrating and calling for more and escalations of it online, are being fired, as they should. Did why I made my video yesterday where I literally was begging and pleading for people to just stop. That's one of the reasons why I made that video, is because I heard about all the people going online and celebrating what happened and calling for further acts of violence. There was so much of that. Just an absolutely disgusting and an abhorrent amount of people saying, you know, basically throwing out target lists. And the people in professional spaces like game developers, teachers, business CEOs, et cetera, are getting fired because of it, as they should. They absolutely should be fired for celebrating the death of someone just because of their political beliefs. That is, at minimum, what should be done, is to be fired. At minimum.
But also, there's been a big conversation about various platforms and how violent rhetoric and calls for political violence have become so
Yeah, Elsa, I
normalized.
saw
And
that. I
one
think
place that
Red's
people
gonna
are
talk about
looking
that.
is Twitch. And of course, Hasan Piker. And you can see this was his
Uh-huh.
stunned and horrified reaction when he saw the video of the assassination. And I think his reaction here was genuine, but pretty quickly he would just go back to being.
Wait, what'd you say, Rabin? Yeah, Rebin, my video, my video got a lot of commentary. It did. My video got a lot of commentary. A lot of them deliberately ignoring every word that came out of my mouth. And it was not unexpected. Honestly, I'm kind of going off track from Rev's video here, but the commentary that I read in my videos, I it wasn't unexpected, honestly. It wasn't. I knew it going in. I knew it going in that there would be plenty of people in there that would be throwing whataboutism at me, and no, I did read it, Rather. I did read it. Uh, but I expected it. I expected it. Yeah, nobody outright attacking me, thankfully. Nobody in my comment section, nobody outright attacked me and basically was calling for my harm or my death, thankfully. Nobody did that. Just a lot of people that were doing the whataboutism, saying it's not about both sides, the both sides thing is a lie, etc., 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 and just ignoring everything that I said about how, we need to get to a point, we need to get back to a point where having a disagreement doesn't become a threat to someone's life. And people just blatantly ignoring what I said so they could push their agenda-driven narratives. I expected it, honestly. I did expect it. It's disheartening, but it's not hurt. It didn't get to the point where I was heartbroken, because as much as I hate it, I expected it.
Good old Hasan Piker, and making this all about himself, and also trying to play the victim, I guess, where he says
I
in an interview that he is now fearful of political violence, which is really rich coming from this guy who for years and years has spouted very violent rhetoric and sympathy
Yes.
for terrible groups and terrible events, and even made what many people believe are calls to violence and political.
Yeah, he has, and this is why I want to see this video. So instead of recognizing that this is the heartbreaking part. This is the heartbreaking part. You have one, legitimately, you have one of the biggest streamers on Twitch who has a very loud voice in the streamer space, sees this happen, basically sees that espousing ideology like his and making call to violence as he has, because there's no sugarcoating it. He has made calls to violence against opposition party people and opposition ethnicities. He has, without question. You can argue that no, you can't argue it because we need evidence to come in first. So I'm not going to outright accuse Hasan of being an inciting influence of some sort because we don't have evidence to substantiate it with the shooter. The shooter was only just taken into custody today. The investigation will continue, and I have zero doubt whatsoever that it will come out whom this person was following on social media. That will come to light. So until that occurs, I am not going to say that he directly influenced the shooter. Not that there's no evidence to support it. There is not, and we need to work with evidence right now. However, what I am going to say is that it is highly disheartening that, given what has occurred, that he didn't take a good hard look at what happened and maybe go, I should make a change. Maybe I should actually make a change to how I speak to people because words have consequences. These, the shooter, and no, I'm not going to use the name. The shooter listened to someone. There was someone that he listened to online. There was someone that influenced him, highly likely online through some format, into this action. We don't know who yet. I'm sure we will find out. But you would think that in light of what happened, he might take a hard look at himself and say, maybe I need to change the way I talk to people. Not saying he should give up his values. Not saying that he needs to change his stance on anything. That's not what I'm saying, but how he expresses it. Again, I disagree with pretty much 99% of what Hasan might have to say. I disagree with him on a lot. I think he's wrong on a lot. But however, I will still support his right to freedom of speech. The problem is his speech is hate speech to incite violence, which is not protected. That is not something I will allow. That's not something that I will acknowledge as being protected by the First Amendment. You would think in the wake of a political commentator like Charlie Kirk being assassinated, that he might want to change how he conducts himself. Again, not changing his ideals, not basically forcing him to change his ideals, but changing the manner in which he speaks. I don't think he will, though. I don't think he will because I believe Hasan truly believes he is untouchable. He truly believes that he is untouchable. Pronix, when I say hate speech, I refer to the way Hasan has actually called for violence against people that do not follow his personal and political ideology. He has called for violence and called for the deaths of people in Congress because they don't follow his political and sociological ideology. That is what I refer to.
Politically motivated ones. And now it's Rich hearing this guy say, "Oh, I'm scared of political violence." Well, it's a little too late to start pretending like you care about this stuff. In fact, only a few days ago, He made a call to violence.
No, we gotta, the moment is clear. You gotta sick like the ACP guys on him. Okay, that's it. You gotta get one of those like Has al Dink type motherfuckers to just like eat his ass alive. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. This, 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 this is it right here. And I'm going to hazard a guess that after what happened to Charlie Kirk, he didn't walk this back. I'm gonna hazard a guess that he did not attempt to walk this back at all. And instead it's just like, oh, I don't feel safe now. I think I could be attacked. Instead of walking it back and saying, you know what? I was wrong. He could have very easily have said, after what happened to Charlie Kirk, you know what? I was wrong to say what I said. We shouldn't be looking to inflict violence on anyone that we have a disagreeing opinion with. But he didn't. He chose not to do that. And the only thing I can think of is, I think you guys have said this, is he thinks he's safe because maybe he thinks his side is the only one doing the attacking, and so his side will protect him. I don't know. No, Zeb, realistically, I don't think he would need to say that it was, well, okay. I mean, maybe I perhaps maybe misunderstanding. What he would need to do is he wouldn't need to say that he's wrong in his opinion of Nick Fuentes, but he could say that he was wrong in his addressing of it. And he could have said, calling for someone to attack him was wrong. He's not going to. Bearing in mind, I don't think Hasan is going to. Hasan thinks he's invincible. He thinks he's protected. So he's not going to walk it back. And that is the root. That is probably the root of the problem. The root of the problem is people like him. That people like Hasan will not acknowledge that what they are doing is fostering violence and only encourages it. And he won't walk it back because he thinks he's invincible. He thinks he can encourage violence against others and will be completely protected. He thinks he has an army protecting him. Whether or not that's true, I don't care. From a humanitarian perspective, it's disgusting as hell. And if it comes out that the shooter was a regular viewer of Hasan, I do think that the FBI needs to conduct, like, I'm guessing the FBI already has a fairly extensive file on Hasan. I'm guessing they probably already have an extensive file on Hasan. If it comes out that the shooter was a very regular consumer of Hasan or any other political streamer's content that is advocated for violence, Hasan, like from PA, both of them have advocated for violence against political enemies. If it comes out that this shooter was a frequent viewer of people like that, FBI needs to open up a full-blown investigation publicly, and they also need to make a public investigation of Twitch if that happens. Because if it comes out that this person that took another man's life was a frequent viewer of a Twitch streamer who has frequently called for the death of opposition, there needs to be a full-blown public investigation of Twitch. It needs to be known that they're done messing around. That Twitch will be held accountable for protecting Hasan for years. Because they have. Twitch has protected Hasan for years when he has promoted terrorism and when he has promoted violence against political enemies. For years he has done this on Twitch's platform. There needs to be an open investigation into Hasan and into Twitch, a public open investigation, so everybody knows about it.
Let him fight.
This guy literally can't be consistent for 2 seconds, and he's been making a lot of tweets trying to shift the dynamic here. Like this one, he says, right-wingers have moved on from fake demands to tone down the violent rhetoric to fantasizing brazenly about murdering left figures.
Which, of course, Hasan is not going to say a word about the violent, quote-unquote, left rhetoric. Because there have been literal collages of people on platforms like Twitch that have been calling for the deaths of numerous public figures that are considered conservative. Like literal collages of this, which he will, of course, properly ignore. And I notice that he's got a community note, which is probably going to say that my guess is this is going to say something along the lines of there's been no significant amount of right-leaning individuals calling for violent, talking about brazenly murdering figures on the left, but there have been from the opposite side. I'm guessing that is what this community notes is going to be, but maybe Rev will get into it. But yeah.
Citation needed. And you could probably find something to strawman here, but he didn't even bother doing it. He just makes this claim, expects you to accept it, despite
I don't doubt it,
thousands
Zep. I don't doubt it, Zep. Bearing in mind, I'm not saying that, unlike what people love to say in the comments of my videos, I don't think that this is, one side is doing this more than the others. I don't ascribe to that. I don't. I am painfully aware that both sides of this spectrum are calling for calm, but also ratcheting up calls for violence. I have zero doubt at all. Both of these sides, you're going to have one side that's basically cheering what was done to Charlie Kirk and saying, okay, now let's do another hit list. And you're going to have the other side saying, this is a call to war. We now have to strike back. I have zero doubt that's happening right now. I have zero doubt. Because all this is doing, especially by listening to these loud voices in the social media space that are basically throwing fucking gasoline on this fire, is just stoking it even higher and gassing people up. Which is exactly what I don't want to happen. We need these voices. We need these voices. We need all of these loud voices to say stop. We need them to say stop. All of these voices. They need to just say stop. And they're not doing it. And that's the problem. These voices have power in our society. They have the power and they have the ability to tell the people that listen to them, that heed their advice, that consider them to be wise individuals for whatever reason. These people have the power to tell them stop. to tell them this is wrong. This is the wrong thing to do. They have the power to say that just because someone has a differentiating opinion than you does not give you any right to take their life. They have this ability and they're not using it.
All they're doing, they just makes this claim, expects you to accept it, despite thousands upon thousands of posts celebrating political violence and the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But now he's trying to basically say, oh, well, the other side's pretty bad too. Yeah, okay. This is the same guy who not even a year ago told his audience they need to end the life of Rick Scott.
Okay, this is disingenuous. This is disingenuous. Okay? Hasan got banned for one day, which was his day off, which was planned by Twitch. Twitch planned this to do the ban on his day off. They gave him a heads up and said, we have to give you a ban because otherwise if we don't, it looks bad for us. So we're going to do a ban on your normal day off. You'll be back the next day. So this, and what Rev is referencing here, is disingenuous at best. Realistically, it's bullshit on a stick. That's what it realistically is.
Sitting U.S. official. Not even a year before that, he tweeted this post over another U.S. official. This is the device that was used to assassinate former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. Two times, he has made some sort of a threat to a sitting U.S. official. How many people can say that? It's insane. And of course, a couple months ago, he was waving around what he was trying to give the impression of was a real gun when he felt disrespected by a streamer, and then he targeted the wrong guy while waving around this gun, and then he eventually
which was a pellet gun, by the way. This was an airsoft gun, by the way, for anybody, because at one point he accidentally pops the magazine out, and you can see that it is an airsoft magazine, not a real magazine. So he was acting like a big Billy badass with an airsoft gun. Not always. Well, that was me. I think in California, orange tip may be required. I don't recall exactly, but regardless, he was trying to act like he's a big badass waving around a pellet gun, pretending like it's real. Nicolites? I don't know. He's still allowed on Twitch because they protect him.
Hey,
oh, Reaper, that's too much.
Ember.
No, Reaper, that's too much. I'm sorry. No, don't essay, please. That's way too much. He's still allowed on Twitch because Twitch protects him. Twitch has protected him from day one. He's Dan Clancy's favorite son. He is Twitch's golden boy. Dan Clancy has basically set up house underneath his son's desk and sucks his cock on a daily basis. That's why he is still on Twitch. Why the FBI has not acted, I cannot say. I realistically don't know why the FBI has not acted. I am not in the FBI, so I could not tell you why they have not taken action, especially given the fact that he has made calls for violence against Congresspeople. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I wish I did, but I don't have an answer for you.
Also did the same thing for the right target. I mean, it's crazy. Like, we're not even getting into the comments about America deserving 9/11 or his indifference or his inability to call out groups like Hezbollah. We're just getting through like stuff like this, and it's recent too. 24 hours before the shooting, Hasan Piker reposted this, which says, "So you can just get that close to the president, huh?" Referring to people getting close to Donald Trump in public. It's very obvious what they're implying here, that someone could get close to him and attack him. Why else would he repost this? He can't be consistent for 2 seconds. And there is endless clips,
Yep.
and thanks to Tectone for putting this one together, but I'm just going to play a small part of it. This is some of the rhetoric he has espouted over the years.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the this shit, man?
Jesus fuck. Jesus fuck. This is this is fucking sick. He should have had a knock at the door from the FBI after this broadcast. I don't know when this broadcast was. I don't know when this broadcast was. He should have had a knock on his door from the FBI. That is a literal call. That is I don't think I ever even heard this one from him. I don't. This is another instance where I never heard about this call for violence. Yeah, I legit don't have these words. I legit don't have words in of GVP. I legit don't. I'm gonna do something that I typically don't do in a rap video because I'm not gonna listen to this. I'm going to actually skip past this segment. I can't listen to this. I refuse to listen to this disgusting creature that pretends to be a human being advocate for literally slaughtering political enemies. I won't do it. I won't listen to it anymore.
Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning. Like he's literally, this is his last term. So I think that people are a lot more radical.
It's hurt poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley. I don't know how that works.
Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers. Murder those motherfuckers. Street. Let the streets.
No. 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 Chat, I'm pulling you. No. I'm not watching anymore. I'm done. I'm not watching anymore. I refuse to. I absolutely refuse to. The fact that someone like that is allowed to spew all that with impunity is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. The fact that Twitch has allowed him to say this kind of thing for years with impunity and has protected him is fucking disgusting. Twitch, Dan Clancy, every fucking one of you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Every fucking one of you. Everyone in Twitch that has allowed this to happen, you are fucking disgusting. You are absolute filth. Every fucking one of you should be fired for allowing this to happen. Every fucking one of you should be fired. You should never work in this industry again. The only jobs that you should be allowed to possess are the ones that include, would you like fries with that? I'm so fucking disgusted that Twitch has allowed this shit on their platform over the years. I had not seen any of those clips from Hasan before. I'm not someone that follows Hasan. So I'd never seen any of those clips previously. I was unaware of them. The fact that Twitch has allowed that for years and has allowed him to stoke that kind of violence on this platform is disgusting. Is absolutely disgusting. And no one in the top ends of Twitch should have a job. Once this is all over, every single one of them should be fired. Every single one. No 479. I don't think it is. That's fucking disgusting. It's honestly, it's seeing stuff like that. Let me put it this way. If it were not for all of you guys on Twitch, if it was not for my community on Twitch, I would seriously consider leaving the platform. If it was not for all of you guys on Twitch that are so wonderful and prove that there is such goodness on Twitch because of you guys, I might seriously consider leaving the platform. I'm not going to because you guys on Twitch are wonderful. And I will not leave you guys by choice. So I will continue to stream on Twitch because I love all of you guys on Twitch as well as those of you on Kick. Yeah, I mean, Giggle Fingers. That's one reason. But it's more for the people. It is far more for the people that are over on Twitch that have been so wonderful and so supportive. That's why. It is. Yeah, and you're right, Robin. Yeah, they do. They do. It is long past time that federal law enforcement needs to step up. This shows that federal law enforcement needs to step up. See, it's long past time. We are now into an age where people like that, their calls for violence, have real world consequences. It's no longer just hyperbole anymore. This is you literally have extreme political activists on Twitch that are very likely spurning individuals into committing cold-blooded murder. FBI, DOJ, Homeland Security, it's time for you guys to step up. It's time for you to take action. And if you don't, what confidence can anybody have in you? Seriously, what? Thank you, Artemis. Thank you. The tip line is unneeded, Raven. At this point, it's all public record. If they're caught people probably, I know people have reported Hassam to the FBI multiple times. He's been reported multiple times already. They probably have a file. The time for filing is over. The time for an active investigation and arrest is now. Let out. It's time, the time to facilitate active arrests is now. You're late to the game on it, but the time is now.